Okay, really quick thoughts on Heihachi DLC character. Okay, I don't think that Tekken 8 is going in a good direction. That's all I could say. Okay, I mean, as someone who plays Tekken 7, who started playing Tekken in Tekken 7, I should say, I just don't think that this is good. Okay, I just do not think that the direction that Tekken 8 is going is good. So all I could say is all the DLC characters as of now are too, like, they're too strong in a way, right? They have strong 50-50s. I think Eddie has strong 50-50s to a certain degree as well. So it just seems like nowadays this fits like the meta of Tekken 8, right? Which is just rush down, right? Rush down like with Dragunov. It doesn't matter if you're blocking, I'm gonna rush you down and still be plus, okay? Or do like a lot of chip damage, okay? I think Eddie to a certain degree can kind of do this, but not as well as like Lidia or Heihachi now, okay? But I will say this. So the meta of rushdown has been so strong in Tekken 8, and if you just can't rush down with characters, you're kind of bad. Like your character kind of sucks, like Lars, okay? So what do I mean by rushdown? So rushdown, what I mean is like Tekken has always been a game about health management. Okay, that's how I've always seen it in Tekken 7 and beyond, right? It's always about who can manage their life bar better. That's who wins, right? And Rushdown lets you sort of manage that, manage your opponents in a way, right? Because even when you are plus and you are in heat or not in heat, you are always able to have your turn and chip them, right? Chip damage is so important. Like if you look at Lidia, she's still plus, rush you down, and she does a lot of chip damage, and that's where it gets like very scary, right? Because she does like one low, you could just lose after blocking, right? And that to me, it kind of sucks, right? So I just think that the meta, especially with Heihachi, is starting to be a game where it's just rush down and strong 50-50s, right? But that's not even the worst part. The worst part is that this is where Eddie kind of comes in, right? The worst part is that after rushing you down, and if they do go like minus 11 at most, right? That's the worst thing about this too, is that they go like minus 11, which is like nothing. Then you have to apply 50-50, right? Let's say if you were to just do some kind of move that would take your turn back, right? Afterwards. They have abilities to steal back their turn. That's the thing that I don't like about this. And I'm starting to understand what Nee was talking about when Tekken 8 first came out. He was like, why the fuck would you go offensive and you fight a character like Law and he parries you and then he steals back his turn, right? This is what the meta is starting to look like, in my opinion, right? Like you can rush down, but as soon as you try to steal back your turn, they can just take it back. And I just think that's not really fun, right? Like Dragunov has a what I mean, well, what should I say, is like a reversal parry. It's sort of like, you know, Dragunov's backswing blow. Even though it's really risky, it still works to a certain degree, right? Like that could work. Or I should say like a high armored heat engager, or like an actual parry, right? So like Eddie has a high heat engager armor move, right? It's safe. And then Heihachi now is able to do a parry and steal back his turn and possibly go into heat, right? I don't remember what the DLC is, but to me that kind of shows me like, dude, it's everything is starting to look the same. Like you are just having DLC characters are being stance 50-50s, very strong 50-50s. And they have ability to steal back their turn. That's it. So they can continue rushing down. And I just don't think that this is fun. Like this is, I think right now the current state of Tekken 8 is not fun. Like if you're playing a weak character, and what I mean by weak is they just do not have the tool set that everyone else does, right? Like Lars has no parry, no good high armor heat engagers. You are most likely gonna lose. That's all I could say, because these abilities are just so strong, you know what I mean? Like even Yoshi Flash is a parry reversal in my opinion, because it steals back your turn, right? Like if you just don't have it, you are most likely gonna lose with your character, is what it feels like. And I just think that that's not fun. Like every character is looking the same, dude. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Blazma. But like the current direction that Tekken 8 is heading is looking like all these DLC characters are gonna be playing pretty much the same game plan. Like, I'm gonna rush you down with strong 50-50s and have crazy chip damage and heat. And I also think like Heihachi's heat bar, whatever the fuck, his ability, where he can gain health and you don't gain any chip damage, like, or you know, you don't gain any regainable health. That is very strong. Like I said, Tekken is a game about life bar management. So it's just, if you're able to break that, you're pretty much like a good character, right? So I'm just thinking, you know, the current state of Tekken 8 is not fun. That's all I could say. The DLC characters are looking too strong, and I understand that they have to make money to, you know, make money to support Tekken 8, but it's just that it's not really fun to be playing like the same characters. They're not the same, but you know, characters with the same game plan, right? And it's just, on the receiving end, if you're like an opponent, you know, you're on the defending side, and then you try to go offensive, and then you just get your turn still, like, you know, blown back. It's not fun. That's all I could say, you know. But that's just my thoughts on current DLC, or you know, at least Heihachi, and the current state of like Tekken 8. That's really it. I mean, it's just not cool. You know what I mean? It's not fun. Like, fuck, dude, that sucks. You know what I mean? I have an idea of how like they could balance some things, but I think that's like time for another video. You know what I mean? Like, that's all. Like, I mean, at least it gives me more ideas of how they should, you know, upgrade some characters. But if all characters are pretty much upgraded the same, then every character is the same, right? Then what's the point of playing the game? Like, maybe, I don't know, man. I just don't know if they should buff the old ones, like the weaker characters, or they should just nerf the stronger characters. Because even if they are strong and they're nerfed, they still have this parry, you know, turn stealing move. That's all I could say, right? They have this ability to still turn, you know, steal back their moves. But yeah, I'm just saying, this is just my current thoughts. Tekken 8's future for me so far is not looking so fun and bright. That's all I can say. Anyways, yeah, Heihachi, sleeping face.